A new rehab device is changing lives in physical therapy and possibly impacting those with debilitating diseases.
They said I was never going to run, and I'm running.
The last physical therapist I went to told me not to come back because there wasn't anything they could do for me. I didn't have much hope, but the first day they put the NewGait on me, I immediately felt my leg again.
Thank you everyone for joining us. We've got Toni Wilson, a user of the NewGait, and then we also got Lynn Van Wilson there, one of our NewGait clinicians, and so she will be moderating this interview. With that, I'll let Lynn take it away.
Toni, if you could just give us your name and tell us what condition that you have.
I'm Toni and I have cerebral palsy. So growing up with CP, my parents started me walking with a little type shopping cart, and eventually I was able to start walking on my own. So I didn't have a walker or wheelchair or anything. And then when I got older, I started to notice that my knees are hitting and my hips are turning in. So at the age of 14, I had hip surgery. And I went from playing basketball, soccer, cheerleading. I mean, my parents kind of told me if I set my mind to it, I can do it. And then I had this surgery and I went from doing all that to being in a wheelchair. And then I started to learn to walk all over again.
That had to be tough to go from doing all of those things to being in a wheelchair. How did that affect you?
Well, the first couple years were pretty good. I started walking more. I had plates and hardware in my hips, and a year later I had those out and I started to walk a lot better. And then junior year I was actually switched therapies and was told that I probably wouldn't walk again. So I went to Baycliff Health Camp, and in 7 weeks I learned to walk without my walker. For long distances I still used the walker, but around the house I was able to not have the wheelchair or the walker, and then I was able to go to college and everything.
That's awesome. So Baycliff turned that around. When did you start having troubles again?
Once I graduated grad school, I wanted to continue where I left off. I always wanted to get into crutches. And then in 2018, I stood up and I just couldn't bear weight on my right side. I had really bad hip pain. I couldn't even stand in the walker. I went from being able to walk with a cane to not even being able to stand.
And at what point did Sarah introduce you to the NewGait?
Shortly after that, because I had x-ray and the doctor said that I might need another hip surgery. But I wanted to try something else because the way my body rejected the first hip surgery. So then Sarah thought of the NewGait.
What was your first experience like with the NewGait?
She put it on me and I felt like it just lifted the weight off of me. It kind of turned my hip out and I stood up and I could bear weight and I didn't have that pain. So then I was able to walk in the walker again. And as long as I had the NewGait on, I didn't have that hip pain. Without the NewGait, I couldn't even stand. But when I put the NewGait on, I was able to stand and walk in the walker, and it just took the pain away.
How often were you wearing it to do that? Were you wearing it all day, every day?
So I was working 3 days a week, so I wore it to work, and then I would wear it to therapy. I was either doing twice or once a week. And then I also wore it on my bike. Because Sarah wanted to strengthen the hip again. Because it had become so weak because I couldn't bear weight. So in order to strengthen it, I had to wear the NewGait so I wouldn't have pain. But right now, I'm able to walk in my crutches without the NewGait. I'm able to walk in my walker all day at work without the NewGait. I haven't had any pain. Honestly, I don't even think I had pain this year. I think it saved me because I had given up on the idea of crutches. Honestly, there was a point where I just wanted to stop and give up. And the NewGait kind of gave me that hope again. And it helped me get without the pain. And I know I kept saying to Sarah, I was like, am I ever going to be able to stand without this? And she goes, this is allowing you to strengthen your hip again. And I was just so frustrated with the pain that I didn't realize that the NewGait was really helping me get back to where I was prior to the injury.
Thank you for sharing all that information.
Of course, I think I walk better in the NewGait and now even without it than I ever did in my AFO.
And I believe I remember seeing some video of you doing some, was it boxing?
And soccer.
And soccer, that's what it was.
I love soccer. And I haven't played soccer since I was 13. And I was running around with my teammates. And she's like, well, why can't you play crutch soccer? And I was like, I don't know. Like, I never even thought I would be in crutches. And she's like, well, let's try it. So I went to the gym with another therapist, and in the NewGait, I was able to play soccer and box.
Is there anything else that you've been able to do now that you haven't been able to do prior to the NewGait?
Walking in crutches. Because of the NewGait, I was able to work out my upper body even though my hip hurt. I was able to continue working on other areas while my hip healed. And I think that the NewGait has helped me strengthen my whole body. You know, all these different aspects of my life, I'm stronger. And that's because I was able to work out with the NewGait and not have hip pain. Every winter I suffer from hip pain. And this winter, because I was wearing the NewGait, I didn't have that hip pain. So I was able to continue working out.
That's really cool. So has it made any difference in your independent living style?
I definitely feel safer. I'm able to, wash dishes, take care of myself a lot easier. With the hip pain, not being able to stand, it was hard to get dressed. I was afraid of falling down. Doing laundry was scary, and now I don't have that hip pain anymore, that I can just do it. I'm walking a lot faster, so working is a lot easier. So if I'm in the NewGait, I can walk at a normal pace. But if I'm out of the NewGait, I'm pretty slow. So I want to continue to use the NewGait to get faster. And I still have the goal of walking one day again without anything.
I love it.
Yeah.
Great goals, Toni. Great goals. We'll try to help you get there.
That'd be awesome. Biggest thing I learned through all of this is the time. Big things take time. And I just learned to trust the NewGait more. It really helps when I have a team of people that believe in me. That was really hard to find. I'm really thankful that I finally found a team that believes in my goals as much as I believe in them.
What words would you have for somebody in your shoes who might be unsure of the NewGait?
I would say just to try it. My thought was I had nothing to lose. I wasn't able to bear weight. If it didn't work, at least I tried it. The reason why I'm doing so good because I couldn't do the therapy without it.
So could you speak to a little bit about how it affected your tone when we put it on you?
My tone is centered around my hips, and it's very tight, and my legs seem to always want to go together. And I put the NewGait on, and it was amazing because the tone just disappeared because it held my hip in a position that my tone doesn't let it go to. So once we found the right band and the right strength, when I stood up, the tone was gone. And Sarah explained to me that a lot of the hip pain might have been that tone fighting against what my hip was trying to do also. When I sit with the NewGait on, I can sit with my legs apart like everybody else does, and it's so comfortable. Like sometimes I would even put the NewGait on just when I'm laying around the house because it stretches my hips out. And my hips relax in that outward position where I can't get them to relax on my own.
I didn't know that. That's neat. Do you have that now that you're not using it? Do you still have the residual effects of it?
I can definitely feel that my hips are stronger and I'm able to stretch them, but the tone is still there. But after I put the NewGait on, like say I wear it for 3 hours and I would take it off, my legs would stay feeling relaxed and stretched for a half hour to an hour after. I could still feel like I had the NewGait on. I haven't had hip pain since I think this winter. I don't remember having hip pain. And I'm actually able right now to walk in my crutches without the NewGait. I was told by the doctors that I might need surgery in order to get rid of the hip pain. And then when you guys introduced me to NewGait, I wore it for over half a year. One day I told Sarah, I was like, I feel like I could, walk without it. So we slowly started to take the NewGait off. I haven't had hip pain and I'm able to work without hip pain and I'm doing really well. It's been a long time since I remember not having any hip pain.